Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. What is good, everybody? Welcome to a special episode of the Renegade Roundtable podcast here. I am Jeffrey Kirby. As always, we are joined by Jarryd. Jarryd, how in the hell are you?
Doing good. Happy Thursday, 1 week from the draft. I'm chilling. I'm ready.
And just so y'all know, for anyone that doesn't know, for the very foreseeable future, Jarryd is an op. Jarryd is an enemy.
Well, for now, until this series is over, if you guys don't know what we're talking about.
And we'll get to that here in a sec. And then, of course, we have Herb. I thought for a sec that he was going to pull a Klay Thompson and just do a complete no-show. But, yeah, he literally joined at the bell. It was like the exact equivalent to what Max Holloway did to Justin Gaethje. If you know, you know. That was absolutely insane. But, Herb, what's going on, my guy?
None much. You see it. I ran into every technical difficulty known to man before hopping in here.
He had me scared for a sec. I started texting him in all caps. I'm like, Jakob Herbert. I just created the first name I could think of that was random for a middle name. So your new middle name now is Leanne.
That works, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, so obviously we're here to reveal our mock draft 2.0. As you can see, we are missing someone. We're missing Hunter. Usually he's been with me on every single mock draft since he's been doing this, but he's officially become a square. He's officially another op, and he decided to ditch us because, well, I'm convinced that he hates me now.
No.
But yeah, so we are here to reveal our mock draft 2.0. We are 1 week away. 1 week away.
Let's go.
It's going to be absolutely insanity. Herb, are you guys doing a live stream this year?
Yes, we are. I think we're going to have a little more people than we did last year, but I believe we are doing a live stream this year again.
Go ahead and plug your shit right now.
Hey, it's the More Sports Please podcast on YouTube, Twitch, anywhere you can find us on any streaming services and podcast networks on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good shit. We haven't put out episodes in a while. We kind of just every year we do a live stream for the draft and you get our live reactions. But like More Sports Please podcast, come out and check it out on April 25th, right?
25th.
Yeah, April 25th. We'll be live from the start of the draft to the very end.
Oh yeah, and obviously they're going to do a hell of a job. Obviously, we're not doing anything this year because Jarryd is going to watch the Orlando Magic lose to the Cavs in Game 3, and I will obviously be in Pittsburgh for the Draft Nation and Draft 412 draft show at Stage AE. So that is what we got going on, and I think it's time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time that we go ahead and get on started here. I think we're gonna start off with Jarryd here. So Jarryd, with the first pick.
I think we all know the first pick. I feel like we just start at 2, but
Do you really though? Because I mean, who's to say that I didn't have the Pittsburgh Steelers trading all the way up to number 1?
Okay, you're such no way it's gonna happen, but Caleb Williams, number 1, going to Chicago. Shocker, guys. This is the shock of the century right there. If you live under a rock, Caleb Williams has just been projected number 1 this whole time. The draft starts at number 2.
All right, Herb, I'm gonna let you go ahead and just you say it and I'll say it and then we could go on.
I got the number 1 overall pick. Going to the Chicago Bears is the best quarterback in the draft. Quarterback J.J. McCarthy out of Michigan.
Here we
the
go.
Hype is real. We're building him up. We're getting him there. He's going to go number 1. Jim Harbaugh said it. I'm just kidding. I have Caleb Williams.
Yeah, it's Caleb Williams. I mean, I literally, when I was writing out my mock draft, I just said Caleb Williams, quarterback USC, ...
That's it.
I probably didn't even need to do ... But, all right, here we go. The Washington Commanders at pick number 2. This is as what Jarryd said, somewhat. We would say somewhat. This is where the draft starts. We still have a general idea of what's going to happen here. It's just, there's
one
one
of the others, as I call it. With the second pick, I've had the Commanders taking Jayden Daniels. I am buying into the hype that he will be the second quarterback, probably the second, with the high talent he probably has. I just believe in the hype for sure.
I agree. I also have Jayden Daniels here, quarterback from LSU. I've been on this train probably since early March. I like him better than Drake May. I think teams are starting to realize that. I will say I think Drake May is getting a little bit. We're getting close to the draft, and
no reason.
Right? They're just starting to hate on him for whatever.
It's literally just prospect fatigue.
Yep.
Because he's been number 2 for over a year.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this time last year. He was already it was Caleb Williams, Drake May, so you knew what it was at that point.
Well,
so obviously I shouldn't say obviously, but I also have Jayden Daniels going to Washington. Obviously, there's going to be that intrigue between him and Drake May. Like we mentioned, there's prospect fatigue there with Drake May, which I personally think is dumb because he is a hell of a quarterback. And who remembers when there was at a point of time where I was posting that I thought that Drake May was even better than Caleb Williams, which wasn't, I think, the worst thing in the world. But people ask, okay, well then why are you going with Jayden Daniels over Drake May? I think there's 2 things. Number one, you bring in Brian Johnson as your offensive coordinator, who he's very used to having that kind of dual threat kind of quarterback that you had with Jalen Hurts. He's going to be learning from another quarterback that was known for his little bit of running, and Marcus Mariota, because they brought him in as a backup. And I think another thing too is they really want to try and get that what they thought they were getting in RG3. I think they kind of want to relive that a little bit again. Have someone that could throw the football, but also can really make plays with his legs, and that's exactly what Jayden Daniels is. Now, do I think that I do think that Drake May is a little bit more pro-ready than Jayden Daniels, but I think Jayden Daniels is going to be a stud.
For sure. Definitely.
All right. Number 3.
I'm basically, I think, in my eyes, walking like chalk. I went with Drake May going to the New England Patriots. I just don't see. I don't see a lot of rumors with the Patriots trading down this pick. I don't know if you guys seen it. I just don't see it. I don't know what they would do. Who would be the quarterback? They were going to go with Bailey Zappi. Is still there or not? But
well, they have Jacoby Brissett also.
Oh, Brissett. Oh, I guess you could use him for a year, but I still think personally, the quarterback is the pick at number 3 for them.
I agree with that too. I do think the quarterback is the pick here, but I have a different quarterback.
You actually
I have J.J. McCarthy here at number 3 to New England. I think a lot of the hype is coming behind him. It's pushing him up it's pushing him up draft boards. I think teams are starting to fall in love with him a week before the draft, probably weeks before the draft. And if I'm the Patriots and J.J. McCarthy and Drake May are still on the board, why won't I just take the younger guy that has a higher ceiling, that has the possibility of being a generational quarterback? And I mean, you're dipping back in the well of Michigan quarterbacks that have been great for you. So I have JJ here at number 3.
After having to hear that fiasco about that team up North's quarterback, I'm going to go with Drake May here. And as what Jarryd said, Jarryd is you mentioned how there's the talk of them possibly trading out. I mentioned this earlier this week on a radio show that I was on, and I said, if you are New England, they are known to trade out. That's something that we've been accustomed to seeing them do for years and years and years when it came to with Bill Belichick. But Bill Belichick's not there anymore. You have Jarryd Mayo. They need this pick. They need to build around a young quarterback. And that's exactly what they're going to do, because I don't see them with your first round pick in the non-Bill Belichick era not getting a quarterback and trying to build around him. Now, if you wanted to make the counter argument and say, listen, this team is not ready, nowhere near, for a young quarterback. We don't want to do what we did with Mac Jones. Maybe I could see that. Maybe. But because let's be honest, they need weapons badly, because that wide receiver core, I think us three can be a better wide receiver core than those wide receivers over there, and we won't expose ourselves on Snapchat.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can make that argument. What's up, Derpy? But I also think there's no way you could trade out of this pick, and I'm taking the quarterback here, and Drake May falls in their lap, and I think this is a match made in heaven for them. I think they're going to love him, and I think as long as they give him weapons and they don't treat him like complete BS, I think he'll end up being good for them.
I want to add on to that real quick. I personally believe New England has the opportunity to just home run this draft. They're in prime position to take a quarterback, and then in the second round, they're in a prime position to take a tier 2 wide receiver, but could be a number 1 wide receiver on any team. They really can just hit a home run if they draft correctly.
For sure. I agree.
All right. Number 4.
The Cardinals drafting Marvin Harrison. It's just easy as that. I don't do trades in my draft. I know maybe some of you guys do, but in my eyes, I don't like predicting trades. Marvin Harrison, the best probably prospect in this draft, going to the Arizona Cardinals for Kyler Murray. You just need a big number 1 receiver.
So I have Roger Goodell coming up to the table and the microphone and announcing that there has been a trade. The Minnesota Vikings are sending both their first round picks to Arizona, plus, whatever next year's first or whatever that equivalent is to PFF, whatever the mock draft simulator was. So I have Minnesota jumping up here to take Arizona's spot and taking quarterback Drake May out of North Carolina. So I would have much rather loved the J.J. McCarthy pick here, because like you said, Kirby, like you have been saying past couple months, he fits better in Minnesota's scheme. But with Drake May still on that board and Minnesota needing a quarterback, do everything you can to push up and trade. I mean, I'm sure Bo Nix will be there when their original pick comes, probably with one of their 2 picks. But you cannot pass up on the talent of Drake May. I think there's 3 or 4 tiers of quarterbacks. You have Caleb Williams in his own tier. Then you have Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, Penix, Nix, everybody else. But I think you have to jump up here and grab Drake May if you're Minnesota.
So I also have that exact trade. So I had Minnesota trading up to number 4, so Arizona would get both first round picks for this year from Minnesota. So at number 4, I have Minnesota going with J.J. McCarthy. I think that's no surprise, as what Herbert has said. I've been saying that for months, where I think he's going to be a match made in heaven there. I think he's going to fit flawlessly into that system. It's the best of both worlds, too, because if you are Arizona and you get the chance to, you had another first round pick, and now you have 3 first round picks in this draft. With how bad that team is, that is something that I don't think you could pass up, because as great as Marvin Harrison Jr. is, as great as he is, if you got the option to get more strong capital in this draft where you can truly build and get pieces, I don't think you could pass that up. So I think at the end of the day, J.J. McCarthy is going to fit in this offense like a glove, and Arizona's going to be able to build. I think it's a trade that works out for both sides.
Interesting. So I think I have a feeling what you guys are going to do with the 5th pick. So I'm just going to let that sit there. But
do you really, though?
Maybe not. I'm just thinking. with the 5th pick, I had the Chargers taking Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. This is the highest ceiling that he could probably go is this at 5, or he could be all the way down maybe to mid to late. I don't know if he makes it to the late first round, to be honest with you.
He'll be like, I think the lowest he'll go is 18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even be moving forward 20. But it just gives him a weapon for Justin Herbert to throw to, since he has no one else to throw to out there.
I agree. I also have Justin Herbert adding. Psych. I have the Steelers trading up to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh, here you go.
I have the Chargers taking Marvin Harrison here.
Which, by the way, that would be something for because Herb would have to root for an Ohio State guy.
Listen, once they graduate, college doesn't matter. I guess not graduate.
Right.
Once they go on to the NFL, college doesn't matter to me.
I think JJ is a bum, but maybe that's just the Ohio State in me.
That's
You know what? Here, listen. Now, Herb, obviously, I got my hatred, OH baby, but you also know what I've been saying about JJ McCarthy, and obviously the stuff that we mentioned earlier. I thought that in the right system, he could have a Brock Purdy kind of rookie impact. And obviously the whole Minnesota thing, I think he would have a chance to do that, especially when you have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. But obviously we've already passed that up, that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
It was my turn, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys. Well, I have the Chargers taking Marvin Harrison Jr. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A Michigan head coach using his first round pick back in the NFL on an Ohio State guy. But yeah, I know in that case, Justin Herbert and Jakob Herbert will both be very happy with that.
Well,
if your last name is Herbert, you're going to be happy with a Harrison in LA. But yeah, they need weapons badly. That's exactly what they get. And whether it was someone like a Brock Bowers or a Marvin Harrison Jr., or would they shock us with maybe an offensive tackle like a Joe Walt or someone like that? Maybe. But I just think if you have Marvin Harrison Jr. right there for the taking,
mm-hmm.
you don't not take that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The
Number
six pick, the New York Giants. I've been tempted, but I've been hearing it. I'm just leaving it the way it is. I want the Malik Neighbors, the wide receiver from LSU. They need a receiver. I believe it could be smokescreen from the GM. They were saying, we believe in Daniel Jones. They could go quarterback. I just don't believe it. I think they go for the receiver, give Daniel Jones another year, another shot, see what happens, run it back with him. And if it don't work out, then you'll get a quarterback in the next draft.
I'm just going to put this up.
Oh, my God.
I agree. I also have...
Hey, hold on. Whoa. You agree on...
his pick, the player, not the Jarryd from Subway. I agree with the
whoa there.
I have Malik Neighbors going here. I've heard rumblings that the Giants are ready to move on from Daniel Jones, but you're not going to pay a backup quarterback, $47 million to be back up in 2024 and then another 41 next year. They have to ride with him. That's I guess nowadays it's easier for teams to, or it's more prominent for teams to just bite the bullet and like Broncos cutting Russell Wilson and taking all that cap space.
That's right.
But in my opinion, you have to ride out Daniel Jones at least for this year. Get him a weapon, see what he can do. Get him a guy like Malik Neighbors that can really open up the field. He's got the powerful strength. I think it'll be good for the Giants. And if Daniel Jones doesn't succeed with him, then I could see moving off of him. But the only problem you have there is if you don't get a quarterback this year in the second, third, or fourth round, and you bank on a quarterback next year, the quarterback class next year is levels and tiers below the past couple years. It's not good.
Wow.
So I also have them going with Malik Neighbors, and you guys have you already mentioned that, Jarryd, about they just need a wide receiver. We've been saying that for months now.
Months.
That they need a true number one. They get that. and Malik Neighbors he's gonna be a dog in New York. And TJ here says it's all love, Jarryd. You know that.
Yep. I appreciate it.
All right, the for number 7, the Tennessee Titans.
It's gonna be the tackle Joel Alt. I think this is probably the most picked at number 7. It's either a tackle, it's him or Olu, but it's probably Joel Alt. Kirby's been saying it for months that he's offensive tackle 1 in his book, and I'm sure most teams see that, and that's the best tackle in this draft.
I almost sneezed. Hold on.
Mayonnaise.
I think it's gone. I agree. I think now last year I did say that Will Levis was going to be a Colt through and through, and he wasn't. He turned out to be a Titan. But I think this Joe Alt, you can, burn it in. He's guaranteed to be a Titan.
Mm-hmm.
He is already trying on there. He's basically doing the Caleb Williams. Try on the uniform, go see the field, meet with the coaches. You're going to be a Titan. Unless the Chargers somehow don't like Malik Neighbors or Roma Dunze or don't like Marvin Harrison if he falls to them, Joe Alt's going to be a Titan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got them going with Joe Alt as well. They need to protect Will Levis at all costs. Right now, their left tackle is Nicolas Petit-Frere. I don't think he's going to be that guy.
Nope.
I don't think he's the left tackle of the future for that team. So they bring in someone. Remember, too, they brought in Bill Callahan, who's one of the better offensive line coaches in all of the NFL, to go along with Brian Callahan. And we all know that Notre Dame is good for bringing good offensive linemen into the NFL. And so that's exactly what they do. And I think Tennessee hits a home run on this pick. All right, number 8, the Atlanta Falcons.
With the 8th pick, the Atlanta Falcons select Dallas Turner, the edge from Alabama. I think this one's also been a favorite pick as well. The first defensive player on the board, I think going number 8. Atlanta's not good at sacking the quarterback, so they need a pass rusher really bad. That's just my answer. You got Kirk Cousins on the other side. You need someone to get to the quarterback to slow down the opposing offense.
So I have Roger coming up again and letting everybody know that there has been a trade.
Mm-hmm.
The Arizona Cardinals have traded back up to get Atlanta's pick, and the Arizona Cardinals select wide receiver Roma Dunze out of Washington. They need a playmaker. They need a receiver. Please come up here during these podcasts. You want to say hi? There you go, Roy. But I think, if you're Arizona, you need a pass catcher. You're not getting any younger over there. They traded away one of their wide receivers for a bag of Cheetos. But I think,
who was that? A bag of Sun Chips?
Who did they trade him to?
The Falcons.
That's right. That's ironic. I forgot about that. But you have to get a pass catcher here and then make another deal with Minnesota. I have them giving away, because at this point with the first trade, Arizona has 3 picks in the first round.
Oh, yeah, in that case.
So they can afford to give one more away. I have them giving away the one they got from Houston. So
23.
Yep. So I think that, you got to grab a top receiver if he's still up there. And I have Roma Dunze.
So we have a couple of comments here. TJ here says that Turner jerseys is already ready in Atlanta. And then the cat is a true playmaker.
Yes.
And then we also got Derpy here saying the Cardinals need. So at number 8, I have the Atlanta Falcons also going with Dallas Turner, because I am convinced that for the most part, Jarryd once again hacked into my Google account, and he just kept in my login and copied and pasted my mock draft. But and the reason why I went with Dallas Turner here was also because of scheme fit. Because he's more of that 3-4 outside backer, and that's exactly what they run, versus someone like a Jarryd Verse, who is more of that 4-3 defensive end. Remember, too, they lost Bud Dupree, who's still free agency, and they were lower in the lower half in the league last year in sacks, so they need to get a pass rusher, and they get the best 3-4 edge rusher in this class. And, yeah, I think this is a pick that just you set it up and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 9.
Number 9, The Bears' second pick, I just went with Roma Dunze, the wide receiver from Washington. I know there's Keenan Allen. I know there's DJ Moore. But why not add more weapons to the offense for Caleb Williams to throw to? Their defense is pretty. I would like to. I don't know if they take anyone on defense on this side. Let me know what you guys think. But I just didn't know what else to pick at this number 9 spot. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I get the pick. I did go defense.
Mm-hmm.
I had Byron Murphy here, defensive lineman out of Texas. He's become my defensive interior number 1. I like him better than Johnny Newton out of Illinois. His body size, he'd be perfect if he just, would have kept under the radar and slid to the Rams, slide in there and kind of fill that Aaron Donald spot. Not saying he's Aaron Donald, but I think he could really fill there in LA. But I have Chicago taking him here. In my opinion, grabbing maybe one of the best defensive players in the draft and the best quarterback. The Bears have already hit the home run, and they don't need to even pick any more the rest of the fucking draft.
So, Jarryd, you would ask, could they go with a defensive player? Herb did, and I also did as well. I actually have them going with Jarryd Verse, the defensive end from Florida State. And I'm glad that Herb did this as well, because I think people have just written in that Chicago's going to take a receiver. It's going to be Roma Dunze, this, that, and the third, blase. But I don't think it's all that necessarily written in stone, because when you look at Chicago, they were 31st in sacks last year. They only got to the quarterback 30 times last year. They're 29th on third down. So you add those up. You have Montez Sweat.
Yep.
Yeah, you have Sweat there. So why not get someone across from him? And you have 2 bookends to really get after the quarterback in that division. And like you mentioned, you have Keenan Allen. Yes, I know he's a little bit older. And you have DJ Moore. If you wanted to give Caleb Williams more weapons, I'm not going to be opposed to that. But I think in this case, you get your premier quarterback, and now you get a premier pass rusher in this draft. I think if you're Chicago in that scenario, you are a very happy team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Definitely.
All right. Number 10, the New York Football Jets.
With the 10th pick, the Jets take Olu Fashanu, the tackle from Penn State. They just upgraded their whole offensive line so much better than the 2 tackles that they had. As Kirby would like to call them, they went from the dinosaur age to what, Kirby?
From the Revolutionary War to the Civil War.
And that's why they need to protect Aaron Rodgers, hopefully to last more than a play this season. That'll just be an accomplishment in general if he can play more than a couple snaps.
Yeah, so hear me out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Jets taking Brock Bowers out of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If they could put Brock Bowers and add him into that pass-catching offense, Aaron Rodgers has everything he needs to succeed. They've upgraded that O-line. It might not be a huge jump, but it is upgraded a little bit. Now they guess. It's not a huge, like I said, it's not a huge jump, but it is a bit of an upgrade. They can add a tackle here. Probably what they're going to do, but Brock Bowers has slid down to you as a pass-catching tight end, and you already have Chris Olave. You just signed Mike Williams. Now you add Brock Bowers in there. You can put him in the slot, or you can put him at tight end.
I think you meant Garrett Wilson. But
yeah, I said Chris Olave. Yeah, it's one of those Ohio State receivers.
Both studs, by the way.
The Garrett Wilson, yeah. And you put in, Brock Bowers in there at tight end or in the slot. Rodgers has everybody he needs to throw to.
Oh, for sure.
Herb, can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I am mad at you.
Why? You have the same
Because I also have them going with Brock Bowers. Yeah, I also have them going with Brock Bowers here. You have a chance to get one of the best tight end prospects of all time, Brock Bowers. You do it. Because right now your tight ends are Tyler Conklin and Jeremy Ruckert. Conklin's cool, but he's also on his last year of his deal. We know how much Aaron Rodgers loves tight ends. We know that they'll be able to manipulate ways to get to create mismatches on defense. And I just think this would be perfect for Aaron Rodgers day one, and he would love that pick.
Yeah.
And so Derpy here says that's a reasonable pick.
Yeah.
So Olave is in New Orleans.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say, what the hell is going on in your neck of the woods there?
Ambulance or a fire truck.
In his background.
But
Oh my goodness.
there is sirens that just drove by my apartment.
Oh boy. Well, let's just move on to the 11th pick here. I still have the Vikings pick here. And of course, you guys already have them. I have them taking JJ McCarthy here. You guys already explained it. Probably the best scheme fit for him in this offense. And you get Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson as their receivers. JJ McCarthy would be making Minnesota probably, I don't know how good of a team, but way better than last year.
Absolutely. So, and I misspoke earlier. Arizona, before this pick, would have had 4 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this pick being traded in the Arizona-Atlanta trade. So Atlanta is now on the clock.
Mm.
I have them going with the best corner in the draft, Quinion Mitchell out of Toledo. Atlanta's got to fill that back end of defense. Get somebody in that secondary that can help out Jesse Bates, I guess. I don't know if he's even doing that much over there. He's kind of quiet. But if you put somebody in that secondary, I mean, their team it's not bad. They got a good roster. But, I mean, you get Quinion Mitchell and that automatically boost up your secondary.
Oh, yeah.
So in my scenario, I have the Arizona Cardinals here, and I actually have them going with Rome Odunze. So they get their wide receiver. It's not Marvin Harrison Jr., but they get Rome Odunze. He's a guy that he's almost 6'3". The area code is his catch radius. Kyler Murray's going to love him. And Arizona, again, this is a perk of being able to acquire more draft picks. You're still able to get a great wide receiver, one of the top 3, and you're going to be able to get more on top of that. And apparently you burned down your neighborhood. Apparently he is calling you the fire-burning version of queso.
Oh, my goodness.
And then Jacob, Mr. Trade Alert.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. This pick is interesting. I did something that I wouldn't do. Number 12, the Denver Broncos.
Give me good news here.
No, they did it. This would be such a Denver Bronco. I went with Bo Nix, the quarterback out of Oregon. Now, why you say that? I don't know. They're going to take a quarterback. I just know they're taking a quarterback. They are not running with whoever quarterback they have now. And
Jarryd Stidham, I think.
they're not running it with Jarryd Stidham. And I think Sean Payton likes Bo Nix a lot from what I'm seeing. And I'm sure he would have run well with that offense. I hope. He needs to learn how to play under center more. I actually doesn't even do that. But anyways, I just don't know what the Denver Broncos are going to do here. They need a quarterback, though. They cannot run with Jarryd Stidham.
And I agree. I also have Bo Nix here. Bo Nix, so to a certain extent, because I don't want to be caught on record saying this, to a certain extent, he's got similarities to Drew Brees.
Oh, boy.
I'm clipping that.
And I think Sean Payton sees that. And I think he's going to – I know Sean Payton doesn't really care for rookie quarterbacks, but he's going to see something in Bo Nix that reminds him – yep, exactly. It's going to remind him of Drew Brees. Mm-hmm. The talent is not there. Bo Nix is not Drew Brees. But there's similarities. It's not the talent. It's just other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I also have Bo Nix going here to Denver.
See, I'm glad it wasn't crazy.
In my mock draft, you guys are both nuts because in my mock draft, I think there's a lot of smoke screen going on around here. And I have them going with Quinion Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo here. Now, you mentioned the Bo Nix thing. It is very possible. But I also know that corner is a huge need for them. And in my opinion, me and Herb, this goes back to January for us when we were talking about cornerback ones, and me and him both had said, hey, we think that Quinny Mitchell has the chance to eventually become cornerback one. I think that has become the case now. And he's going to be able to step in day one. He's going to be a contributor for Vance Joseph. And I think this is going to be a hell of a pick for a team that was in the bottom half in the league on third down. And they were 24th in passing offense, or 23rd in passing defense. My apologies.
Mm-hmm.
And Parker, I hate you sometimes. I hope you know this.
You know where Toledo is.
I hate you sometimes. All right, moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders, and I can't wait to see what kind of a shit show pick this is going to be.
I went with Terrion Arnold, the cornerback from Alabama. Hopefully they hit on a pick here. You know, they've been missing first-round draft picks for a little while. I think he's probably – you guys said Quinny Mitchell's the best corner in the draft. You can argue Terrion Arnold's the same way. I think they're 1A, 1B pretty much. So it's just pick the best player that you believe is fit for your scheme. And, goddamn, the Raiders need all the help they can get.
So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 go.
Oh, my God.
Then we have 5 to Bo Nix, 6 to the Vegas Raiders. I have quarterback Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. Like you said, the Raiders have been missing on first-round picks for a while, so I completely feel like an overreach here for Penix is the most Raider move ever. They need a quarterback. Penix is still on the board. They could get him in round 2 somewhere, but I think they're just going to jump on it. Get him now, get him out of the way, get him while you can. I have Michael Penix as a Raider.
Let's talk about former first-round Raider picks for a sec. Last year, they picked Tyree Wilson 7th. Okay. Whatever. The year 22, they did not have a first-round pick because when they got Devontae Adams. 2021, Alex Leatherwood. 2020, they had 2 first-round picks. Henry Ruggs and Damon Arnett.
Wow. No, I completely forgot that was the same draft. Oh, my God.
Let's talk about 2019 now. The draft that they drafted Cleveland Farrell, 4th overall. Then they got Josh Jacobs. Then they got Jonathan Abrams. None of them are on the team anymore. Let's talk about 2018. Colton Miller. That was a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good pick.
That was the best one.
and then 2017. Garyon Conley. And then 2016, who the hell did they draft in 2016? I know 14 and 15 they did good when they ended up getting Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper. I don't remember who they got in 2016.
What was 20? No, never mind. I lied.
But yeah. I just wanted to have that fun real quick because, good Lord, have the Las Vegas Raiders just been bad at picking in the first round. Oh, and in that case, I would love for Michael Penix to go there. But they actually, I think, have a competent GM and Tom Telesco. So I'm going to have them going with a competent pick here. And I'm going to have them going with Terrion Arnold, the cornerback from Alabama. And I think the reason being is because I truly, truly, truly don't believe that either Penix or Bo Nix are going to go in round 1. Because we remember when we were all thinking that Will Levis, for example, could go pick number 4 last year. He ends up falling all the way out of the first round. Mm-hmm. And you have Bo Nix, who is someone who's been in college for what feels like 95 years. He looks like he's about to collect Medicare with all that shit going on. And then, bless up, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And then Michael Penix, he has like his knees are shot. Mm-hmm. He's had multiple ACL injuries, and I don't see them doing it. I just don't see them being first round guys. But going back to Terrion Arnold, they could go in a multitude of directions. They could go with Bo Nix. And remember, Tom Telesco obviously drafted another Oregon quarterback in Justin Herbert. That did work out for them. They could go with Olu Fashanu here. who's still on the board. They could go with what I think would be the most Raider pick for them to do this year is J.C. Latham. I think that would be the equivalent to the Alex Leatherwood pick that they had a few years ago.
Like that happened.
That would be such a Raider pick. But they go with a corner here who is arguably the best corner in the draft, depending on who you talk to. And they need help in that corner room badly. And that's exactly what they get here. So I decided to give them a competent pick.
Bold. Very bold.
Very bold. Number 14, the New Orleans Saints. What are they going to do? I went with the tackle Tyrese Fuaga from Oregon State. I just predict offensive line is not a sexy pick. And I think I think one of their players might not even play this year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he was a tackle or not, but I do not remember. But they need just another offensive line.
I agree. I also have Tyrese Fuaga out of Oregon State going here. Just to piggyback, they need offensive line desperately. And they have their pick of the litter aside from Joe Alt. And I think, in my opinion, they go with the offensive tackle number 2 in Fuaga.
So I actually have them going with Olufashanu here, the offensive tackle from Penn State. Trevor Penning has not been the answer there. And Ryan Ramczyk, if I'm not mistaken, he's not going to play this year. So that leads into a desperate need at tackle. And I have them going with just the next best tackle that they have, because you could go with either side in this case for them. So I have them going with the next best tackle. And for me, that would be Olufashanu. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that.
Okay.
All right. Number 15, the Indianapolis Colts.
With the 15th pick, the Colts select Quinion Mitchell, the cornerback from Toledo. I just picked them because they need another cornerback. That's pretty much all I got from the Colts. They can go receiver here, but I just think they need more help on the defensive side.
I agree. I have corner here, but I have Terrion Arnold. And like you said, they need somebody to help that secondary in the corner position. And with Terrion Arnold still on the board here for Indy, you have to grab him as soon as you see him. You might even risk trading up, but if you're Indy, you have to get one of those top 2 corners in Terrion Arnold or Quinion Mitchell.
I just realized in my mock draft I accidentally had Brock Bowers going twice.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God! Brock Bowers came back on the stage.
Okay.
By the way,
he's playing for the
TJ Black here says the Saints are taking Jarryd Verse, which in my mock draft I actually have them. He's already gone. Mm-hmm. But at this point I don't know what the hell to say. But what I will say is they could go corner. Obviously, they need a corner badly. Someone like a Nate Wiggins. Could they go with a wide receiver like Brian Thomas or even a Donnie Mitchell? That could be a case. But yeah. At this case, I'm just going to have to let this one go. I don't even know who the hell to say at this point.
No.
And now we just have the Animal Planet going on over here in Jacob's house.
During this podcast.
Okay.
Sunshine, get down, girl.
So the 16th.
Hold on, real quick. By the way, TJ, that was also when I told you that earlier, because I was in a Twitter space earlier, and I said I had the Colts taking Brock Bowers. Again, I completely forgot. I didn't realize that I had 2 teams taking Brock Bowers here. But obviously, if Brock Bowers is going to, if he's there for the Colts, I think you run that pick up immediately.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to make this quick pick because work is blowing up my phone. I have to take this call, unfortunately. But
hey, work. He's busy.
No. 16th pick. The Seattle Seahawks take Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle from Texas. They are terrible against the run. They need someone on that defensive line to stop the run. You want an example? The Steelers in Seattle game. Najee Harris, as I can tell you. Jaylen Warren is one of those reasons. You guys can go with the next pick.
So I have Cincinnati trading up and saying, hey, we want Brock Bowers as well. So along with the Jets and the Colts, I have the Bengals taking Brock Bowers. So all three teams will share him throughout the season. No, I'm just kidding. I have Seattle still staying put. You have your choice of edge rusher here. You want either Dallas Turner or Jarryd Verse or Laiatu Latu. I have been going Dallas Turner here out of Alabama. Had you have asked me 2 weeks ago who I would have picked here, I would have said Jarryd Verse. But the more I started to realize Dallas Turner is probably edge rusher number 1, which sucks for Jarryd Verse because I really like him, but I like what Dallas Turner can provide to teams better than Jarryd Verse. I like his skill set. I like his ability to do what he does in defense and just wreak havoc. It's those Alabama defensive players. They'll always hold a special place in my heart as much as I hate Alabama, but I have Dallas Turner here going to Seattle.
So I have Seattle going with Byron Murphy, the defensive tackle from Texas here. Whether you want to say it's Byron Murphy or Johnny Newton, whatever it is, whoever it is, you're not going to get an argument out of me. But they need a defensive tackle badly. They were 31st against the run, 31st on third down. They need to improve that badly. And they had also lost a defensive tackle in free agency to Mario Edwards to Houston. So obviously they need help badly on that defensive line to help out that defense there. For new defensive coordinator was Aiden Durde, who by the way was also a defensive line coach coming from Dallas, so maybe that'll foresee a little bit. TJ here says no, Bowers in Cincinnati, no, do not play with me. It's a realistic possibility, though. If we're being honest here, out of the teams that really could go after a tight end, it's going to be the Chargers at number 5. It's going to be the Jets at number 10. It's going to be the Colts at 15. It's going to be the Bengals at 18. I think those are the 4 teams that are realistically just going to be looking for Brock Bowers. And real quick, we mentioned Brock Bowers and we mentioned the Chargers here. I'm also kind of sparing time for Jarryd to hurry his ass up because, hey, Warwick, he's busy. But no, look at who else is in that division. They deal with Travis Kelce, who is another one of those really good receiving tight ends. Maybe that's exactly what they're looking for as finally Jarryd the op is back.
All right, chill out. All right.
But yeah, we did a little bit of stalling for you. So
no, I appreciate it. Really do.
But that's your only strike. After that, we're automatically going to be taking a game away from the Magic. So
taking a game. Okay, that's what we're going with right here. All right, so the Jags, 17th pick. I went with Troy Fautanu, the tackle. I know I've been saying defense. For them, but they do also need O-line help as well. They do need it. The 2 best corners, they could go with Nate Wiggins a little. I don't know. I just don't know. I think I just went with a tackle here. Kind of indecisive pick for me here.
So for Jacksonville, this pick was mostly because I'm tired to see him getting mocked to Pittsburgh. I have Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. I like Cooper. Don't take him at 20. If there is a better tackle on that board or a center, don't take Cooper at 20. I think Jackson.
Real quick, I gotta say this one thing, and TJ knows this exact. So I am in another Steelers group chat, and when I tell you this debate about the Steelers and centers versus tackles, oh my God, it's nauseating, and there's just so many arguments with that, and people don't want to believe that position flexibility is a thing. It's just a freaking nightmare. I apologize. I needed to get that off of my chest right then and there. Continue on with the proper special programming.
Yeah, so like I said, I got Cooper DeJean here. I think he's a corner, but if you're Jacksonville, you need help at corner and safety. Put him anywhere he fits in the best way he play or the best position he's better at. Whichever they like him more at, shove him there. But I do want to add on to that comment. the argument with the offensive tackle and center, it's so I don't get it. Because if you want a guy that's great at offensive tackle and great at center, you take Graham Barton.
Yep, we'll get there.
He can play both positions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what? And we're gonna go off topic here for a minute because at the end of the day, we are still a Steelers podcast, and of course, we are all Steeler fans here. So it was a matter of time before we got off track there for half a second. But what I'm going to mention about what you just said is because I keep on hearing this argument of I don't want a center who doesn't really play center, who has played very little center. I want someone who is only a center or has played majority of the center, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then my counter to that is, why wouldn't you want someone, like you mentioned, like a Graham Barton, where you have a need at tackle, you have a need at center, why not go and get someone who can do both? So then that frees you up a little bit more later on in this draft. Because then you could still take a center or you could still take a tackle, whatever you want to do. But position flexibility in today's NFL matters so much. And I think that some people are very hesitant. They look at what happened with Kendrick Green.
I was just about to bring that up. Steelers fans are so worried about what happened with Kendrick Green and compare him to anybody that can play multiple.
Well, the thing is, there was Graham Barton has played center.
Mm-hmm.
He has played center before.
Kendrick Green did not really, no.
Right.
So there is, and here you go. So TJ here, for an example, he says, I want a pure setter, or I want a pure setter, or a center. Good God.
Jeez.
Center. But so he's someone that wants a pure center. So in that case, he would be more interested in like the JPJs of the world, the Cedric Van Prams or someone like that in that neck of the woods. And let's be honest, those are still options.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask me, and this goes back to how not too long ago, about who would you rather take, if a center versus a tackle? I had said I would rather have the tackle because I think I think you can. They're still going to be hard, but I think it's a little bit easier to cover up having a somewhat weak spot as your center
than a tackle.
Because when you're in a division with Myles Garrett, and as much as I love to talk my shit about Myles Garrett, no one will argue, or at least should argue, that he is not a damn good pass rusher, a top 2 pass rusher. I will say that. But when you deal with someone like that in the division twice a year, we see what happens when you have a weak tackle.
Yep.
So TJ here says Frazier is my pure center, in my opinion.
Okay.
I do want to say this real quick to add on to the Frazier versus JPJ. I think in my bold prediction for the draft is I think Frazier's going to go above JPJ. And that might not be as bold as it could have been a month ago because things are starting to come out. Teams are more worried about JPJ's injury history, his ability. I guess he's got off-field issues, but all that, who knows everything. I don't know if you guys seen that article about A.D. Mitchell having character issues.
Yeah.
And
A.D. Mitchell, yes. I haven't heard anything about JPJ.
I think Frazier will go above JPJ specifically due to injury history. But like you said, with worst case scenario, if God forbid we go into next season without a center, and let's say we draft a tackle and a guard, worst case scenario, you slide James Daniels over to center until you can feel that need.
Or you have Nate Herbig.
Exactly, that too. You have options.
So here, Derpy here says, I just want a Super Bowl. We're the Steelers. We're not supposed to worry that much, unlike other teams.
Oh, man. We're drama fucking queens, we are.
And then, but if you take Mims and you get Cedric Van Pran, I am smiling. And that's the other thing too. Is the conversation about Amarius Mims is a very interesting conversation. You know, we should have just waited on to this because we're right there with the season.
Right. We're almost there.
But you know what? Here we go. And we're still gonna probably say more even later on when it gets to it. But you know what? This is what the hell happens here with us.
Almost there.
We're almost there. But that's the thing, too. Amarius Mims is an option. Tyler Guyton is an option. Graham Barton is an option. If you still want to put in possibly the JPJ, he's an option. Zach Frazier is an option. So those are 5 guys right there just on the offensive line that you can go after. It was
Or
not
not,
even talking
20.
about someone that could be a little bit of a reach. Maybe even someone like a Jordan Morgan from Arizona. That is, I mean, he's a little. I think that'd be a little bit of a reach, but I think that's someone that you have to at least keep in the back of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So there are plenty of options with what you want to do. And notice how I didn't. Well, in my mock draft, he is not gone. But notice how I did not say a certain Alabama tackle because, good God, I will be beyond furious if we got that man.
Yep.
Speaking of Alabama tackle,
Hold on, I never got to say my Jacksonville pick.
Oh, please go ahead.
Because we got off track there for 45 minutes. I have them going with Nate Wiggins. I have them going with the corner here because they needed corner badly. They lost 2 corners in free agency, and they were the 26th ranked pass defense. I think this would be a huge get for their new defensive coordinator.
Yep.
Okay,
For
now
sure.
we can move on.
Speaking of an Alabama tackle, I did not do this on purpose, just because we don't want them. I swear, I promise. The Bengals picked J.C. Latham, the tackle from Alabama. God, you better hope you get a right tackle for the Bengals. That's all I got to say. The tackles that you signed in free agency, in the draft, have not been working out. And poor Joe Burrow getting sacked. Getting him injured, unfortunately. So you better hope it's the right tackle, is all I can tell you.
Absolutely. I don't, though, have Bengals taking a tackle here. I think the signing of Trent Brown gives them the flexibility to go wherever they need to in the draft. I have them going defensive line in Johnny Newton. You need somebody to help beef up that defensive line. Get somebody in there like a Johnny Newton. Obviously, you could go tackle here because you got Orlando Brown and Trent Brown on the outside. They're both very, yeah. Yeah. So I have them going Johnny Newton here just to be able to help get back to the quarterback and stop the run.
I also have them going with Johnny Newton here. They lost DJ Reader in free agency, and I think that is a huge loss for them. I mean, they added BJ Hill. They added Sheldon Rankins, which they're fine. They're fine players. But Newton would be able to come in and make an impact day one. And I am going to now just pray for the next 7 days that J.C. Latham becomes a Cincinnati Bengal. Thank you. Amen.
Yep.
Number 19, the LA Rams, and this is where our little hearts and our guts start to get that little bit of
tingle.
A tingle.
I went with Leatu Latu, the edge from UCLA. They don't have Aaron Donald, as we know, but they need someone on that line to somewhat kind of replace him. And Leatu Latu can be that person, possibly. Just worry about his injury history is only my concern.
I get that. Here for the Rams, I went offensive tackle. But one of these, if not two, some of these offensive tackles are going to slide down the board. I've got Olu. I believe it's Fashanu.
I think
it's Fashanu.
One of those Olu Fashanu out of Penn State here going to the Rams. Get somebody in there that can protect Matthew Stafford so he's not dying every game. This man has been on his ass more times than I've seen he's always been in Detroit, but this more times than I've seen in a while. I mean, that playoff game against Detroit, you've seen some of the hits he was taking. Get an offensive tackle in there that can protect him. And I think, Olu sliding this far, I don't know if he'll slide, but I think an offensive tackle is going to slide.
So I have the same idea. I have them going with an offensive tackle, but I have them going with Troy Fautanu, the offensive tackle from Washington. As crazy as this sounds, this is Sean McVay's first round pick.
It is.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
That is insane to think. So we know that it's going to be somewhere on that offensive line, and they need a tackle. And Fautanu is someone. Fautanu is talked about as someone who can play all 5 positions. There was an article or something that came out this week saying that there are teams that think he can play all 5 positions, which again, position flexibility, that gives you that goes back to that argument, blase. But he's going to be able to come in and make an immediate impact on that team somehow, some way on that offensive line. And they allowed the 26th when you look at it, they only gave up the 26th most sacks. They only gave up 34 sacks last year. That offensive line did. So what may have felt like he was getting on his ass a lot more, they actually did a decently good job of protecting him. But someone like Fatsinu, I just think that would be a great pickup for the LA Rams. And here we are.
So last year, I rode the Broderick Jones train, or very early. I'm sorry, everyone did. But my very first mock draft, I picked Broderick Jones. I went back with the next Georgia tackle, which I think will happen at pick 20. Amarius Mims, welcome to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You are now our right tackle. We need it so bad. Everyone's going to say, oh, you need a center or this or that. We were on the JPJ train. Now we're off of it. It's the tackle's more important than the center position. We will be fine.
Real quick, I'm just going to say this. I got a weird feeling me and Herbert are going to have the same pick.
Nope. Your pick went to the Rams.
Ah.
I have them going with position flexibility, a sneaky center, Troy Fautanu.
Mm-hmm.
I just read an article saying that Troy thinks he's more of a tackle and that him playing guard or center is lazy analysis. But if you draft a guy like Troy Fautanu, if you draft a guy like Graham Barton, that gives you the flexibility of being able to take a tackle or a center later in the draft. And I like Troy better than I like Graham Barton. And anybody off that Washington offensive line specifically if you pick anybody off that Washington offensive line, you're getting a good player.
I also went with a position flexibility because I went with Graham Barton, baby. Obviously, like I said, I stuck with the offensive line, and there are the rumors, and I try to not let those go to me. But I feel like when it's the Steelers and rumors start to fly when it gets closer to draft time, you start they're not very good at playing poker. Because they tend to show their hands at times.
Mm-hmm.
And like we mentioned earlier, the Mims thing is still an option. Even someone like Tyler Guyton, someone like a Troy Fautanu in Herb's case, you still have the some of the offensive line positions. I also would not be fully opposed to trading down either, because you look at a team. Let's say, for example, the Buffalo Bills, for example. If Buffalo really wants a wide receiver, and I don't think anyone has said Brian Thomas's name yet. Nope. And if you want someone like a Brian Thomas, if we know that they need a wide receiver badly, you could dangle that over their heads a little bit and say, give us a decent little something, and we'll give you pick number 20, and you could go and take your great wide receiver. And you could still you're going to still be able to get one of those offensive linemen at pick number 28, and you'll be able to acquire even more assets, hopefully for day 2 for rounds 2 and 3. So I think that is a complete option as well. But in this case, I went with position flexibility. Also did her, but he went with Fautanu. I went with Graham Barton. Some people would be pissed at both those picks because position flexibility is apparently bad.
I would not be upset either way if it's either one of those two.
And also the one thing that I have been hearing is about Amarius Mims too. They don't like the fact that he's only played in like 8 games or whatever. He has 8 starts or whatever. Listen, go watch. That's all.
That's it.
Dude is good.
Yeah.
Dude is good. He has the length.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be mad at all with that pick either.
Yep.
As long as it's not JC Latham or people I think are also really trying to talk themselves into taking a first-round corner.
Which I don't see.
I don't see it. And I think with the need of an offensive tackle, And then I've seen the people try to say, "Oh, we should take a wide receiver in round 1."
No,
Absolutely not. This is the same exact thing that I said last year when people were trying to say Jordan Addison, cough, Herbert.
Dude, if you put Jordan Addison and Kenny Pickett together, I think his career turns out drastically different.
Really?
But to add on to your corner talk, if we take a first-round corner, it has to be Quinion Mitchell. Quinion Mitchell or Terrion Arnold. Everybody else
agreed.
is not.
I
don't think you grab him.
Totally agree.
And you know what? It's ironic. It is ironic that Herb, what did you say a little bit ago about Cooper DeJean? You said you were sick and tired of seeing them get mocked to the Steelers. But wait a second. Breaking news. He also has position flexibility because he could play outside corner. He could play nickel corner. He could play safety. But breaking news, he has position flexibility too. But we're okay with that. We are okay with taking him, but we are not okay with taking a Graham Barton or someone like that. What the hell do we think sometimes with Steeler fans? Good God, this is getting me more wound up than I thought I would.
Man, you know what I have? Tunnel vision. I don't see that. I just pick. Listen, be realistic here. It's very unlikely, like Herb said. There's very unlikely Steelers are going to take a corner round 1. There is, unless like those 2 players are there. That's the only 2 players I will accept. I love Cooper DeJean, but not at 20. Not at 20 though. Hey, if he's there in the second round, sure.
Not necessarily because of where the value is either, because I think the value is not bad.
No, it's not. But
It's just based on the needs.
Yep.
That's true.
I feel like any tackle we draft is sitting behind more. And
man,
That's at least the first couple weeks. Maybe just training camp. Broderick sat behind him.
well, I think Broderick's gonna. Well, let's just say they get a right tackle. Who's starting? Dan Moore starting right tackle now?
No, I just.
I
think their goal is to if they get a right tackle, I think they probably battle with Broderick in training camp and eventually move Broderick back to left tackle. I don't think they're ready to give up on Dan Moore.
Disgusting. I've been ready since I saw him. The amount of times I've heard, "Oh, look, there's Dan Moore again."
He might have something on the organization to keep his job. I don't know, man. He must be like a great people person, and the owners must have loved his characteristics. But
either that, or he has something on Mike Tomlin.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like Matt Canada did.
TJ here says people like defensive versatility, not offensive versatility. But my question is, and that's why like one and not the other? I think position flexibility is key.
Important. I decided
on a 53-man roster. People, I think, also don't think about this either. 53-man rosters seems like a lot. It ain't.
No.
It ain't. That's why when guys have special teams value, I think that helps teams that, especially when you carry 7-8 offensive linemen, you need guys that can play multiple positions.
Yep.
I agree.
Definitely.
And just to tag on to the wide receiver comment you had made earlier, I would argue the later round wide receivers in the second round, talent-wise, are better than the available you can get at 20. If you're taking a wide receiver at 20 in Pittsburgh,
no.
I don't want Brian Thomas. I don't want A.D. Mitchell. If I want one of those receivers that are borderline second or first round, it's got to be Ladd McConkey. But he could slide to the back end of the middle of the second round where we pick a guy like Ricky Pearsall, Roman Wilson.
I had a feeling you were going to start mentioning him.
There we go.
3 guys in the second round.
See,
love one of them.
By the way, what did we mention earlier?
Oh my God!
It is the Kendrick Green effect.
What the difference is with the Kendrick Green thing, they put him in a position he had never played.
That's the problem.
He has played or like a Graham Barton, has actually played center before.
Mhm.
Now, has Troy Fautanu played center? That I don't know. And I'll be honest, I don't know if he did. And if he has not, then okay. Then you might have me on there a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But at least with Graham Barton, he has played center in college football.
Mm-hmm.
At least you have that.
All right. Do we feel better? I hope.
Ask me in 5 minutes. Let my gears continue to grind.
Oh, I can't wait for next week though. We'll see what happens 1 week from tonight.
Oh, here we go. So you got to realize Omar Khan is unpredictable. We might think X, but he might think Z.
Yeah, Khan is unpredictable.
Yeah,
but
what if he trades up and gets Roma Dunze?
Please don't do that. I don't want to.
What, dude? If he,
what are we giving up? That's the question.
Yeah,
that's my fear.
That is a good question.
That is my fear because
Omar
Khan's done good, but I'm just worried about what we give up.
I'm
not against it.
I am.
Right. See, I can see both sides. I'm not against it, and I would love it, but there's a lot of talent in those mid rounds, second,
You
third
would
rounds.
love
And
it.
if you give up those, you're gonna give. I'm kind of worried now.
I'm not worried. We're gonna stay at 20. We are not moving. No,
that's not fully true though. That's
trading down.
Okay, I was gonna say that's not fully true because I
that.
would not be surprised if they wanted to trade down.
Trade down is only
Pittsburgh is not notorious for trading back. I see them staying put at 20. And
yeah, but again, you still kind of have that Kevin Colbert mind.
Yeah, I guess you do got a point.
You have to get that drill that some bitch out of your head.
Yeah, you have to
realize that Omar Khan is completely different. Yeah. And as we saw it last year when he traded up. I mean, it was like his first year. He was like, "Yep, nope, give me that." And
just that and free agency. Those are the two different things that Kevin Colbert would never done if he was still here. You kidding me?
We might not be sitting here having this Roma Dunze talk next year or next week because Brandon Ayuk could be on the team. Tyler Boyd could sign in free agency. And
if Brandon Ayuk gets traded over here, I don't know how I feel. What are we giving up? I'm the person like I love the draft capital. I don't want to lose it
next year draft capital, so I don't have to worry about it till next year.
I hope it's not a lot. Brandon Ayuk is a great player, but we have to pay him afterwards.
Yeah,
that's the problem. I don't mind it.
I also, Jarryd, do I need to have the same conversation with you that I just had with Jarryd or with Herb here? I think you have a little bit of that Kevin Colbert mindset and that fighting yours too. I think we need to Shawn Michaels super kick that bitch out of your head and have you thinking in a whole different direction as well. But I think the one thing too about Tyler Boyd that people keep on saying that pisses me off beyond belief, gets my gears grinding again. The one thing that people are doing that pisses me off is they say, "Oh, he's just a wide receiver 3." He's a wide receiver 3 because you have Jamar Chase, who is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, in T. Higgins, who, if he wasn't on the Cincinnati Bengals, a majority of teams would be a number 1 wide receiver. So, yes, he is a wide receiver 3 there. And if Tyler Boyd is your number 3 wide receiver,
you're doing something.
You're doing something. And that wide receiver was doing something when they actually had Joe Burrow out there. So, Tyler Boyd, the disrespect that he is getting is pissing me off. I think he is someone that I would still love to have on this team.
Mm-hmm.
The Ayuk thing, obviously, you get someone like Ayuk, and I think the other thing. Here's the reason why I can convince myself on why I would like Ayuk, because George Pickens is someone who he's great. He makes the highlight reel catches. We get that, but there are flaws in his game in terms of the route running. Can he run the full route tree successfully as a number 1 wide receiver? I don't know that. But we do know someone who can. We do know someone who will bless up again. But we know someone who could, in Brandon Ayuk. that's going. Obviously, George Pickens will feel like, well, shit, where's my targets again? But he's going to free up. He's going to get freed up again. He's going to be able to do a little bit more of what he was doing before, where he was very successful at it.
You know, you're either one-on-one Ayuk or double Ayuk or Pickens now. You can't do both. Someone's going to be one-on-one. Oh, man. I think a lot of us...
Yep.
Resume.
No Diddy in that concept, but yes.
Okay, Antonio Brown. What's going on here?
Oh, man. But anyways.
Hashtag CTESPN.
My goodness. If IU gets traded over here, everyone will be ecstatic, of course. Because, you know, I'm just worried about what we're going to give up for him. I'm that guy.
Jarryd Colbert over here.
I am Jarryd Colbert, man. As of right now, we'll see what happens. I'll let it slide. I'll be happy.
I ain't got no fucking tissues around here, man. I ain't got no other option. Either that or this blanket.
Oh no. Okay.
Not the blankie.
You know, we said I said how we all feel. Are we ready to go to the number 21 and get through the rest of this?
Ask me in another 5 minutes.
No,
I said that 5 minutes ago. My gears got grinded again. We might have this happen again. We might start randomly talking about the Green Bay Packers pick. I might have a random thought about the Steelers, and I might have to go off again or something. I don't know. Or I might just see something, and my whole brain is just turning into ADD or ADHD, whatever the hell acronym medical term you want to use. When it gets to these shows, that's what happens.
Oh, my God.
But,
wow.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, number 21, the Miami Dolphins.
Well, that was fun.
Went with JPJ, the center from Oregon, just to add someone on that offensive line. I'm sure defensive line would have been another spot. I just went with the offensive line.
Yeah, I also had all the offensive line here. I had J.C. Latham, the tackle out of Alabama. He's got to go eventually. When you're Miami, you see a tackle, you grab a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Have him going here. I'm going to go wipe my nose with some toilet paper and take TJ Black's take his advice. So I will be back.
All right. So in my mock pick, I have them going with at least Fuaga, the offensive tackle from Oregon State. They need offensive line help. Teron Armstead, I'm pretty sure he is going to be out. Mm-hmm. And they need to protect Tua. He's a right tackle, so he could be a blindside protector. I know they have Austin Jackson there, but he's not Tyrese Fuaga.
Not Tyrese Fuaga. No, you're totally right. Man, I'm still feeling from that 20 pick. That's all I could say. My goodness.
You know what?
Oh boy.
You know what? What? Now, selfishly, for I'm going to do another promo here for the Draft Nation Draft 412 draft show. I wouldn't be opposed to them trading back because then we get to keep everyone.
Yeah. For sure.
But yeah, and because it adds a little bit more anticipation.
Oh, it does.
Bro going to get COVID from himself.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to start with the 22nd pick here. The Philadelphia Eagles. I went with Nate Wiggins, the corner from Clemson. They need to get younger on that corner, on that secondary. And with Nate Wiggins, and he'd be a great fit on that defensive side. You beef up the front seven. Now it's time to beef up the secondary. Herb, welcome back. I hope you have tissues.
Yes, I do. I got some toilet paper. I had my headset on. I could still hear you guys, but I forgot I had muted on the computer, and I went to unmute my headset and go, if we went – oh, wait a minute. They can't hear me. If we go in the next season with George Pickens, Quez Watkins, Van Jefferson, and
Calvin Austin
at wide receiver, we're in trouble.
I hate it.
That's a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 in George Pickens, and then wide receiver 4s. 3 of them.
This would be the equivalent to putting a hell of a receiver on the New York Giants, and that's it. That's going to be what happens with Malik Neighbors when he goes to the Giants.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But back on track, I also have the Eagles here going corner, Nate Wiggins. You need a corner, grab a corner. You got a bunch of them up here. Kool-Aid is still an option. You got, Nate Wiggins, I think, is at one point, in my opinion, was the best corner in the draft. Obviously got jumped by Arnold and Quinion Mitchell. But your Philadelphia, your secondary, especially corner, was atrocious on the tail end of your season last year. Has to be first need. Grab Nate Wiggins.
Yep.
I also have them going with corner. And the guy that Herb is not wanting to see in Pittsburgh, he is still going to Pennsylvania. He's just going to the other side of Pennsylvania because Cooper DeJean, welcome to Philly. You are about to learn Philonese. But yeah, they need help in that secondary badly, and he's a Swiss Army knife, and he's going to be great for them on that back end. And yeah, they need a corner here. To me, that's the best corner, next best available corner that they have. They were 30th on third down, 25th in interceptions last year, 30th in passing defense. Yeah. Do we say it one more time? Yeah.
Yeah. With the 23rd pick, I saw the Vikings here. I haven't taken Jarryd versus the edge from Florida State here. Just you have someone now.
Not their yearly corner.
No, not the yearly corner. I not the yearly corner this time. I have a bad feeling they're gonna mess up on one of these good corners on their team, and I don't want them to take them. So give them Jarryd versus help on that pass rush. That's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, so here I have Arizona. This is in one of the trades that happened. I have them going Jackson Powers Johnson, center out of Oregon. Beef up that offensive line, get Kyler Murray someone who can snap him the ball. You take Paris Johnson last year, keep beefing up that O-line for the little midget boy. And I know Jackson Powers Johnson's a lot taller than Kyler Murray, so he's going to have to really look over him. But you got him some position help at center.
I have the Arizona Cardinals going with Leatu Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA. They've gotten their wide receiver at 11. Now they get an edge rusher who's going to be able to come in day one and contribute. In fact, I could pull this up right now because I keep a tab of a team that has all the team's depth charts because I am just that much of a nerd. Right now, their pass rush, and by the way, this would be a perfect scheme for them as well. Right now, their two outside backer pass rushers would be Zaven Collins, former first-round pick, and Dennis Gardeck.
Who? Wow.
Dennis Gardeck. Needless to say.
Hope you show out, Dennis. Hope you show out.
All pro this year, Dennis. All pro. We're rooting for you.
I'm not. But no, Leatu Latu, he's going to come in day one, be a contributor right away. They need a pass rusher. Scheme fit works out perfect, and away we go.
Away we go.
Number 24, the Dallas Cowgirls.
The Cowgirls select Tyler Guyton, the tackle.
Bro said we can see the hub tab. Bro, I will let you see all of my tabs right now. I ain't got none to hide. Like I can tell you right now, I'll tell you every single tab I got going on.
Let's not. Don't need to know it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I ain't got no shame in my game of what tabs I got going on.
Jeez. But Tyler Guyton, the tackle for the Cowgirls. They need a tackle. They lost one. Just someone to replace. I forgot which side, but help out Dak Prescott, which I don't know, man. Dak Prescott's another question mark. I don't know after this year. We'll see.
Yeah, I also
time out. We have breaking news here because someone that I like to call Lil Durk, aka Hunter.
Oh my god!
Well.
Has decided to show up because because apparently Hunter officially hates all of us. I know he hates me, and he decided to ditch us. So, Hunter, I hope you know that you hurt our feelings. By the way.
Man, I thought you were about to break some breaking news. I didn't see what was going on. I was excited for a second.
Had me checking Twitter real fast.
I know.
I mean, I could give you the only breaking news that I could give you is that AB released Caitlin Clark's new Air Force One shoe.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Oh my.
Oh yeah, by the way.
No. Magic and 7.
Basketball isn't a real sport.
Yeah, I wonder why. And then was too busy hitting dingers at softball. I highly doubt it because I'm pretty sure you have the pool noodle bat of Miles Straw.
Oh my god! What did Miles Straw do?
Everything and also nothing. That's the problem that he had last year. He's the equivalent to play-in game Klay Thompson.
Oh, yikes!
Anyways, here we go with Dallas. So I agree. Dak Prescott. It sounds like he's not going to be around next year. So I have Dallas taking Michael Pratt, quarterback.
By the way, real quick, TJ. By the way, so TJ just tagged me on Twitter of the new Lions uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Ew." I think they're fucking amazing.
I really have to go look now for this.
I really like that they showed that they actually implemented a blue face mask.
The blue face mask is sick.
People,
they're simple but really good.
I like them. So maybe there is some breaking news. There was new uniforms.
Honestly, I like it. The only thing they remind me of my high school rival, basically, but it is what it is. I don't like.
The only reason why I don't like them right now is because they're very similar to Magic colors, and I cannot be liking them at this time. Let me know when the series is over.
Yeah, when the Magic win in 7.
Yeah, bullshit.
You're right. Magic in 4.
Oh man, I would cry. I would cry. Woo, man.
Hey, you know what? Here, I will say this though, Herb. I hope you enjoy the couch because Jarryd will be joining you after this series.
Oh, okay. We'll see what happens. Listen. Oh my God, can we get through this?
Which, by the way, if there is anyone, I'm going to game 1, so I'll see y'all there Saturday.
Oh, so the Magic's going to get at least one game.
It'll be game 2, not game 1.
Game 1.
Jeez,
Kirby, we know your past records of showing up to at least Steelers games.
Magic, I like Magic. Listen, guys, I'm just happy that we made it. This is our time, the young team. I'm playing with house money here.
Cavs and foe.
You best believe I put money on the Magic money line on game 1. You best.
Well, there you go. So you automatically lost. So thank you for that.
I don't listen. It's fine. I'll take my loss if it happens, but there's always a chance. I know the Cavs are not that this year, as I could tell you. They're a good team. They just not been good in the past couple weeks.
It's okay because we're whooping that ass.
All right.
Yeah, it's your Dallas here. I have Amarius Mims out of Georgia.
Okay.
Hey, this is like the 85th time that we've gotten off topic. So you know what? This is what happens. So we're on pick.
Your pick with the Cowboys.
I just realized I did it again.
Oh my god!
I had them going with Fuaga. But you know what? Actually, you know what? I can get rid of this pretty quickly. I'll have them going with Amarius Mims, so I'll have them going with the next best available tackle. So in that case, it's the same exact thing that they need an offensive tackle, and that's exactly what they get. So,
yep.
So do you have Mims out of the first round then?
I just had them taking Mims.
Right, but you had them going Fuaga at first.
So I originally what happened is I had Miami taking Fuaga, so that'd be the real pick.
Right.
So then I had accidentally put Fuaga in at Dallas. So then I'm moving Mims. No, he was originally not, but I have a backup plan for that.
Okay. I was gonna say I was worried you didn't have Mims going anywhere after that.
That'd be a little bit shocking.
But okay.
As I started to do the final end of this, I was getting distracted and did not do a full proofread on this.
No, for sure. I've been there.
I have failed on. I am the Klay Thompson of this.
Oh my gosh.
Buddy was out there trying to practice as a referee when he gets to retirement, man.
My gosh. So we're at the 25th pick, the Green Bay Packers. The most popular pick, that in my opinion, Cooper DeJean to the Green Bay Packers. Welcome. welcome to the team. That's all I got to say. The position flexibility. Again, some people love it, some people hate it. Just suck it up if you don't like it or not. That's all I got to say.
I'll jump on that position flexibility. Green Bay takes Graham Barton.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive line, dude, I mean, you get in Graham Barton, you plug and play wherever he's best.
Yep.
Which probably is going to end up being tackle, but
for sure.
All right, there we go. I just made my edit. So with Green Bay, I'm having them go with Tyler Guyton, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma. I think that they are pissed that that Cooper DeJean is gone.
Yep.
Because I think that just seems like a match made in heaven there. But right now, your tackles are Rasheed Walker and Zach Tom.
Ooh.
Who?
Ooh, no bueno.
Mm-mm.
So, needless to say, they need a tackle, and they get one in Tyler Guyton.
Mm-hmm. Number 26, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have them taking Kool-Aid McKinstry, the corner from Alabama. To be honest, I don't know much of Tampa Bay what they need, but I don't think they have a corner, and I just really went with the corner.
It's a good pick. Tampa Bay is they need some help on defense. I have them going edge rusher, Jarryd Verse. Like I said, they need help on defense. Anywhere in the defensive area will be a home run hit for them. Jarryd Verse on that slide, it ends here at Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm having them actually go with Chop Robinson, the edge rusher from Penn State. And Herb, I'm curious as to.
The only reason I make that face is I don't, and this might be negligence on my part, I've never mocked Chop in the first round, I don't think.
I think they're starting to get a little bit of like a rise with him.
And I see that. And my only problem is I think this tackle class and this corner class pushes the edges down the board.
Agreed.
But I also think too, you mentioned we'll say the top 2.5. You have Dallas Turner, you have Jarryd Verse, and then I say Latu is a half because he has the talent, but there's the medical.
Yeah.
But then I think after, yes, there is a tiny bit of a drop off, but edge rusher is still a premier position. Mm-hmm. They need an edge rusher because they simply do. They need a pass rusher. They were pretty good against the quarterback last year, but remember they also lost Shaq Barrett as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is true.
They need to replace that. You signed Randy Gregory. Cool.
Nice.
Cool. So in that case, I wanted to give them an edge rusher where I think he's one of those guys that could play a little bit of a 3-4 or in a 4-3. And that's exactly what I gave. I gave him someone that I think had a similar kind of build.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Chop Robinson's a little bit bigger, but someone who's a little bit similar. And Ryan here, or TJ says Ryan Jensen retired. This is a center, and that very well could be the case. Someone like a Zach Frazier, JPJ, whatever, that could be a case as well. But I think also edge rusher would be a little bit more important
than a center.
But obviously, that is a need also.
Number 27, I still have the Arizona Cardinals here. I haven't taken Josiah Newton, the interior defensive lineman from Illinois. Just a piece to help that defense, which is bad. But that's all I got to say.
So for here, I have Atlanta with this pick, and I have them going Latu. So I have them double dipping on defense, getting the best corner, and quite possibly the best edge rusher, depending on how the medicals go and how he's going to turn out. I like Latu. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would be a great fit here in Atlanta. If Pittsburgh didn't have an edge rusher, I'd prefer him over Jarryd Verse. But, I mean, like I said earlier about these edge rushers sliding, you get Latu in Atlanta.
By the way, so Jarryd, we have a very important question for you.
Oh boy.
What are your thoughts on Bidenomics?
What? I don't have any comments on this. Why is
Mr. Kirby, what is your stance on the political and economical state of the world? I will give my State of the Union address February 29th of next year. So which is never. I had this weird theory when it came to the Arizona Cardinals. They had 3 first-round picks. Not all 3 of them could be great. There has to be at least one bad one. So I gave them JC Latham.
Okay.
And now my friends have completely just come in and just now, because now we are asking, why are you wearing Turtle Beach?
They aren't Turtle Beaches. They're Steel Series. But yeah, they're gaming headset.
And then Herbert, Mr. Herbert, I have a question for coming for you soon.
Oh my gosh. Oh, man.
So yes, as you can see, our chat is
turning into politics, which I don't want.
This is going to start turning into CNN here pretty soon. But no, I had that theory that not all the picks could be great, so I had to give them one bad pick. So I gave them JC Latham, which is also a need too. They need a tackle.
Yeah,
and I was able to fit him in because he's going to go round 1.
Just who?
Just who?
Yeah. Anyone but the Steelers.
That is true. All right, number 28, the Buffalo Bills.
I have them taking Brian Thomas Jr. here. They desperately need a receiver at 28. Listen, I don't do trades. Yes, he fell down to there. I know a trade's going to happen, but in my world, he's at number 28, a great fit for the Buffalo Bills. Need Josh Allen to throw someone the ball to. It's not besides Curtis Samuel.
I agree. You can put this in cement. You can put this in cement. They're going to get a receiver. I think it's Brian Thomas Jr. Unless they somehow miraculously trade up to get a Malik Neighbors or one of those top guys. But I think it's Brian Thomas Jr. It's fills the need perfectly at wide receiver. You get a deep threat. I mean, it's perfect.
I also have them going with Brian Thomas as well. So I am convinced that Herbert at some point of time also hacked into my Google account.
Okay.
And wanted to steal a couple picks. And that was one of the picks where he said, you know what? I want to make this project look like I didn't completely copy it, but this is one of them where I have to make it look like that. I guess this chat has completely gone left.
Yeah.
In a multitude of ways, apparently now.
They've gone left 4 times.
Unless you're Dale Earnhardt.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Jesus, that's terrible.
May he
Terrible.
rest in peace.
Terrible. Who said that?
Number 29, the Detroit Lions, who just revealed their uniforms.
Yeah. I went with Chop Robinson, the edge from Penn State here. Just to be on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson would be very nice. I know they should go corner with the unfortunate of releasing to this one person that's in jail right now, but will not say his name. But I just went with the edge of Chop Robinson. I think that, a good 1-2 combo for that defense.
And I have them going corner because Mr. Sam Cutton, he's not on the team anymore. I have them going Kool-Aid McKinstry. He fits that role in Detroit well. I really like Kool-Aid. If you get him in a Detroit uniform, I think it's perfect. You fill a need at corner. You get that defense even more buffed up than it already is. An edge rusher would be great here to pair up against Aiden Hutchinson. That would be very hard to block. But you absolutely need help in that corner room after losing one of your corners to a crazy life incident.
Yep.
As I was distracted by the chat once again, I have them going with Darius Robinson, the edge rusher from Missouri, and corner. So in that case, it would probably be a Kool-Aid McKinstry would be the pick here. I think I decided to go with an edge rusher for them, just to get someone opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. I think you get someone who's a little bit bigger who'll be able to come off the edge, and I think I think that'll end up being an interesting pick for them. And it also is going to be based a little bit more about how Detroit feels about the medical on Kool-Aid McKinstry as well.
Yep.
Number 30, the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens, I have them selecting Graham Barton, the tackle from Duke. Just add more position flexibility they would need on that offensive line. They want to run the ball more and protect Lamar Jackson.
I have them adding a weapon for Lamar Jackson and A.D. Mitchell at wide receiver. You still only have his name escapes me. What's dude's name?
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. You still have Zay Flowers there. He's about the only wide receiver you retained, really, because
and Bateman.
Don't forget about Bateman.
Oh, Rashad Bateman. I've always overlooked him, man. I never really cared for Rashad, but
nobody does.
A guy like right. He's always just kind of been like. He's been that Raven that you just always overlook. You kind of forget he's in that receiving core.
Yep.
But you get a guy like A.D. Mitchell, pair him up with Zay Flowers, and Lamar's finally got some weapons.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
So we're getting a report in that O.J. Simpson apparently cleaned up the crime scene with a terrible towel, per source.
That's fake news for all.
So, for me, for Baltimore, I ended up actually having them going with Zach Frazier. So that theory that Herb you mentioned earlier about Zach Frazier going ahead of JPJ, that fits right here in this scenario because they lost so much on their offensive line. They lost Morgan Moses, they lost John Simpson, they lost Kevin Zeitler. So they lost 3/5 of their offensive line. And obviously that includes both their interior guys. So they need to go in and replenish that a little bit, and they at least start that by getting Zach Frazier in this situation. Mm-hmm. Pick number 31 as we get closer and closer to being done.
Yep. The San Francisco 49ers select Jordan Morgan, the tackle from Arizona.
Arizona.
Arizona, God, it's Arizona. I can't read that correctly. Anyways,
we know it's okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little special. Thank you. I appreciate it. But the Niners just need to get a little bit younger on that offensive line. You still have a great all pro left tackle over there. Just to get the offensive line a little bit younger.
I also have the 49ers taking offensive line Tyler Guyton, and it's just like you said, to get that offensive line younger. You get in Tyler Guyton to tackle. I mean, everybody else in the offensive line isn't getting any younger. They're just growing and growing and growing in age. Start that young regime. Start it going. Get Tyler Guyton in the first round and then double dip later in the draft for another tackle, guard, or center.
Mm-hmm.
I also have them going with Jordan Morgan. So we all had the same idea of them going with an offensive lineman. They just needed someone to help obviously make that offensive line a little bit younger. That's exactly what they get. And they're going to be able to learn from a hell of a tackle in Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Number 32, the Kansas City Chiefs.
And
the Kansas City Taylor Swifts.
Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes gets a weapon, a Donnie Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. Man, would that be nice for Patrick Mahomes for him? Is all I could tell him. They might win another Super Bowl with him on that team. And my hatred is now going more towards the Chiefs than the Patriots now. It's getting to that point almost. I'm just tired of seeing them doing good.
I am as well. I also have them adding a weapon. My favorite wide receiver in this draft class, Ladd McConkey. What's not to love about the dude?
Yeah.
He can play ball. He's a great wide receiver. But if you put him in the Chiefs offense with Patrick Mahomes, he just is going to explode.
Mm-hmm.
And I fear that.
Yeah. But a wide receiver is going to get drafted at 32. It's crazy to Super Bowl champions. It's just going to be great. Oh, my gosh.
I also have them going with the Donnie Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. Now, there's some of this report that's going on about maybe he has the character issues, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's a couple coaches, when you think of that, you'll kind of swipe that away a little bit. And Andy Reid is one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Now, you're dealing with this whole Rashee Rice thing.
Yep.
That's becoming a whole debacle of a situation there. So maybe he might be a tiny bit skeptical about taking someone who might have a little bit of character issues. But again, you get someone in there, or you have a good culture there. You bring someone in, you make him right, and he can make an immediate impact. But yeah, like Herb said, you can go with a multitude of guys. And Lad McConkey is another one of those guys that you could really see go. Or Polk from Washington's another guy that I think you can possibly see sneak into the back end of that first round. So there's that.
Yep.
Another mock draft is in the books. And
I'd like to think CTE ESPN is very legit because that means we're getting Justin Simmons and Tyler Boyd.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh man.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, this whole chat's the chat's just gone complete left. It's gone wild. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I think, is that it? Do we have anything else? Do we have let's do this real quick, actually, because this also gives us more time to enjoy what the fuck is going on. What is something that you don't think will happen, but you would love to see in this draft?
Herb, you go first if I need to think, unless you don't need to think.
I'd love to see Pittsburgh trade up to get one of those wide receiver ones, especially a Marvin Harrison. It's not going to happen, but if you trade up to get a Marvin Harrison, Rome Odunze, Malik Neighbors, or I want them to trade up and get one of the top tier guys, like a Quinion Mitchell. Those four, I don't give a rat's ass about the rest of the draft. If you get one of those four, I'm set.
Man said that the draft shit is overrated is because they don't have a first round pick.
It's crazy, man. Cleveland Browns still don't have a first round pick. Man, it's been a while.
Gave up that first round pick for $240 million to ride the bench.
It's crazy. It's wild. And if I want something crazy to happen, I hope Bo Nix gets drafted to the Broncos. I hope that happens. Just so I can laugh. Someone's going to make the wrong pick, and I hope it's the Denver Broncos. Like the worst pick of the night, I hope it's the Denver Broncos. Because their plan sucks. I don't know what their plan is.
It says that we had to watch Kenny Pickett for 2 years, and that's worse than mass genocide.
Oh, my gosh.
Listen, I'll take 2 years of mediocrity over the entire franchise existence.
At least we never lost a team. We didn't lose our team, by the way. I think the one thing that I'm going to go kind of similar to what Jarryd said. I'm just curious to see what kind of fuck up the Raiders are going to make this year.
You know what? I changed mine. I want JJ to go number one.
That's not going to happen. But
I want JJ to go.
I have a better shot of getting a six pack, getting a girlfriend.
There's not, Caleb Williams already has the playbook for Chicago. You know that, right?
I want something to come out where Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels were doing crack cocaine, heroin on the side of the road together, and Drake May injuries and for some reason they just keep shitting on him and keep shitting on him more.
Oh my god!
Put JJ at number one.
Why? Is you a Michigan fan? Is this the reason?
Yes,
that's the reason.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! The worst scenario I don't want. Imagine if JJ McCarthy goes to the Patriots and succeeds. More of that I don't want to see.
I'll probably be a little torn on that.
So that's the little thing I don't want to happen.
The one thing I don't want to have happen, JC Latham Steeler.
That's another thing.
Yeah, that's.
I am an expert hater when it comes to that.
I could see it, definitely. But yeah, that's all I got.
I think this is it, and I think this officially ends the 2024 draft process for the Renegade Roundtable podcast.
Yeah.
Obviously, we will not be live next week for obvious reasons. So in that case, you make sure to go and check out the More Sports Please podcast as Herbert and them do their live stream. It's going to be lit for them.
Yes, sir.
So make sure to go and check that out. And apparently we're dealing with the YouTube version of the Shield.
Oh, God.
Where are the glasses at? They're right here.
Yeah.
Big, ginormous, big bro. That's where they're at. But until then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe.
Whoa. Hold on. I need to get down to this business for a second here. 1 second. Herb, you are the unbiased person here. I need your opinion. Cavs or Magic in this series?
Oh.
I need this unbiased opinion because we're both going against each other. We're ops for the week.
So,
unbiased opinion.
Unbiased opinion. I am going to be honest. I haven't watched a single NBA game this whole season. My NBA knowledge of this year has been just from the group chat.
Terrible.
I'm going to pick the Magic in 6.
Ooh, man. We were here we go, man. Here we go.
I you know what? I need to go ahead and how do you remove her? Yeah. By the way, Cavs and foe.
No way. There's no way in 4.
Because
no.
Fuck the Magic.
Oh my goodness, man! It's gonna be a long, probably week, 2 weeks, maybe.
It's gonna be a quick series.
I don't think so. I think you're about to learn today. It's not going to be a quick series. It's going to be at least 5 games.
You're about to learn, or what is it? Jarrod's prepared to learn your eliminationies or whatever it is. That's exactly you're going to learn that yo ass is.
I don't know, man. It's going to be it's an even matchup, split series in the regular season, 2-2. And that's with both teams not at their full strength. This is the first test on Saturday. Just at 1 p.m.
Jarryd, you said this last year, and I'm saying it this year.
Yeah.
And we're coming.
Oh,
we're coming.
Dog, right. I'm just looking back at the Cavs' previous games, and it's
not good.
No, they lost to the Hornets in the season finale, beat the Pacers by 9,
They tanked that last game.
Lost to the Clippers, lost to the Lakers, lost
tanked
to the Suns.
Play the Magic because they think oh my goodness, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. But anyways, we'll see what happens.
And
Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to be on your team anymore.
Jarryd, I hope you know when we talk again in 2 weeks here. It's gonna be great to have to see you in tears, knowing that you're.
Listen. In all seriousness, I didn't think the Magic would be at the 5th seed to make it in. I thought they would be the play. They exceeded my expectations. This is house money for me. I'm just gonna enjoy this.
Get the brooms out.
No playoff experience. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, I bet it does. But
it does.
So. What about the Thunder, huh?
There's a shot they might get bounced.
They got another young team. Just pointing it out there, but
at the end of the day, this is still the Cavs. This is still Cleveland. You just have Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland is what I'm seeing. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing Evan Mobley. I'm not seeing Jarryd Allen.
Okay,
in my eyes. I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit to you.
It's okay when we come back in 2 weeks. You can apologize.
All right.
You can apologize and say that you're sorry for talking shit when we got the brooms out and swept the ass.
Okay, all righty, sure.
But it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a hell of a series. Jarryd was trying to make it up here. I think he says that he's trying to save money, but I think what it really is I think he doesn't want to spend all that money to come up to Cleveland to watch his team get his ass whooped in game 1. And so I think he's saving himself the money and the pain for that. So I think that's the real theory on why he's not coming to game 1.
No, you got to save up for the NFL season.
I think that's your cop out. I think your real reason is
not cop outing. Come on.
I think you're scared.
Not scared.
That you guys are getting your ass whooped.
No, definitely not.
Oh yeah,
No.
it's happening.
Saturday, 1 p.m. 1 p.m. Saturday, first game.
Me and Justin, aka Harry Gok, will be in town. So wait, so if you're Harry Gok, so that means you're related to Caitlin Clark, right? Because I guess y'all are both hairy as shit.
Oh my God.
Till then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Go Steelers, and go Cavs. Go Buckeyes. Fuck the Browns. Fuck the Magic. Fuck the Warriors. Fuck the Yankees.
National champions.
Cheated. But until then, hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of this draft process. And until then, peace out, everyone.